You buy a 600,000 investment property in Broadmeadows, and over 10 years, you're down by $62,000 after tax. But then, in year 11, it flips into profit. Your usable equity hits $323,000. Would you still do it? Quick heads up, before we jump in, this isn't financial advice. It's a guide to help with your own property research and planning. Make sure to chat with a licensed financial advisor before making any big decisions. You can also download this as a PDF and take it along to your advisor if you want to go over it together. Let's break this down. Here's the scenario we modeled. Property price, $600,000, deposit of 20%, that's $120,000, and combined taxable income of $220,000. And we're buying this year, 2025. And the strategy is buy and hold for long-term equity and rental growth. Let's go beyond the numbers and assumptions. What does the data actually show year by year? We use conservative lending and rental assumptions. Nothing speculative here. So we have here 5-year interest only, and interest rate is 6.7%, and the loan period is 30 years. And the rent growth and capital growth estimates are based on historical suburb data. And the cash flow, negative every year. Here's the breakdown. 2026, we're negative by $10,000. And in 2027, it's negative $9,500. And on 2035, it's negative $762. That is a total of negative $62,000 over 10 years. But something shifts dramatically in year 11. This is the pain period, negative cash flow after tax for a full decade. Not unusual in capital city suburbs with long-term growth potential. These are the costs of building future wealth in property. And why so many property investors bail too early, right before the upside? If you find this analysis helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel. We break down more suburbs just like this each week. So what happens in year 11? Let's have a look. So this is the turning point that cash flow turns positive after tax. Why? Loan balances has reduced, rents have climbed, and interest costs are lower. Now here's the payoff most property investors miss. By 2036, the estimated usable equity is projected to be at $320,000. This is how equity unlocks the next phase of your portfolio. You could extract $150,000 to $200,000 and buy another property without saving another dollar. So what does this mean for Broadmeadows as a suburb? Located in 16 kilometers of Melbourne CBD, it has a good transport, access to freeway and train, gentrification ripple effects coming from Coburg and Glenroy, and diverse demographics with strong rental demand. Vacancy rate is at 1.62%. You can see here vacancy rate is continuously going down. Stock on market percentage is continuously going down. So currently it's at 0.24%. Median rent has been consistently going up since 2022, and the rental yield is at 4.34% for houses, and for unit it's 5.62%. And there's also an opportunity to do rooming house if that's one of the strategy. So you can see here there's a huge gap between the number of people looking for a room to rent versus the number of rooms advertised online. And when we go up, we can also see the 10-year compounded growth rate at 4.12%. And if we look at the days on market versus the median house price, we can see that days on market has been consistently low, below 50, but Since start of this year, it has been going up while the price hasn't really moved up. So there may be an opportunity there for Broadmeadows. Now let's have a look at potential buyers. We can see here the number of people looking at the for sale section has been growing. So the interest is there for Broadmeadows. So it's not a high yield play. It's a long-term capital growth suburb with rental upside later. It's a candidate for equity building if you can weather the first decade where you are negatively geared. What if we change the deposit from 20 to 30% or the interest rates go down? Let's see how it affects everything. So I created two same graphs here, identical, just to show what will be the changes from the original versus the one that we changed. So the one on the right will be the original. We're not going to change that. So the one on the left, what we'll do is we'll adjust the deposit from 20 to 30%. So what we'll do is we'll adjust this 30%. Now the property will become positively geared after tax by 2034. Originally, it will be positive on 2036. So adding an additional 10% will advance the number of years when the property will be positive. And at the same time, on 2036, the estimated usable equity will be 376 versus to the original 323, because the 10% deposit will now go as part of the equity. Now let's do the other scenario. So we'll just put this back to 20%. So it's back to where it was originally. So let's say the interest rate goes down from 6.7%. So let's say it becomes 6.4%. So let's see how it will affect the numbers. So it will be positive by 2035. Originally, it will be positive by 2036. So if the interest rate becomes lower by 0.3%, the effect on the cash flow will advance by 1 year. So from 2036 will become positive by 2035. To sum it up, total out-of-pocket over 10 years, $62,000, positive after-tax cash flow by 2036, and estimated usable equity of $323,000. No hype, just purely math. So would you buy in Broadmeadows in 2025? Let us know in the comments below. If this kind of suburb-by-suburb model helps you make smarter decisions, please hit the subscribe button and we'll show you how to compare multiple suburbs using real data. See you next time.